welcome back to Miss Craig's Classroom. Today's math lesson is going to be on 3-digit numbers. Our learning goal today is I am learning about numbers, and our success criteria is I will be successful when I can identify and read a 3-digit number. Today we're going to be looking at hundreds numbers, which are numbers that have 3 digits. Now if you remember back to my first lesson on 2-digit numbers, you will remember that digits are numerals that together make up numbers. Those numerals are the numbers 0 to 9, single digit numbers. The first 3-digit number to occur is 100. It is the number that follows after 99. The reason why we have to move to a 3-digit number after the number 99 is because 9 is the highest numeral before we reach 10. For example, the numbers 0 to 9. After 9, which is a single digit number, we then have to move to a double digit number. So we have 2 columns in our place value chart instead of just 1. The same thing happens when we get down to 99. You can't go any higher than 2 9s, so we have to add in an extra column to compensate for that. Therefore, if you were ever to see a number that had only digits of 9, you would then know that the next number that follows it would have an extra column added on. Now I'm going to teach you how to say a hundreds number. It is really important that you understand how to pronounce 2-digit numbers. So if you haven't already watched that episode, you need to go back and practice that skill first, as it is essential for the rest of the numbers that come after them. First, I'm going to say a few hundreds numbers, and I want you to have a discussion at home about how I'm saying those numbers. Okay, the first number will appear on the screen now. It has digits made up of 1, 6, and 2, but the number isn't 1, 6, and 2. That's not how we say numbers. This number is actually 162. What did you notice about how I said that number? What words did I add in? First, I broke up this number into 2 sections, the 1 and the 62. Therefore, I am breaking up the hundreds from the tens numbers. Then I said how many hundreds numbers I have, followed by the word and. So in this case, I had 100, and the remaining digits together made up the number 62. So altogether I have 162. Let's do some more. The next number will appear on your screen now. It is made up of the digits 3, 1, and 1, but the number is not 3, 1, 1. First, break up the number into your 2 sections, the hundreds digit and the remaining 2 digits. How many hundreds does this number have? Good job, it has 3 hundreds. What are the remaining 2 numerals as a number? Yes, together they make the number 11. So let's put it all together. 311. So this number is 311. Alright, last one. First, break this number up into those 2 sections. How many hundreds are in this number? Yes, we have 4 hundreds. Now, what are the remaining 2 digits as a number? Well done, it is 34. Let's put it all together. This number is 434. Okay, now for some activities you can do at home to practice reading and counting your hundreds numbers. The same activities I recommended for our first lesson on 2-digit numbers still apply here. So you can go back and check those activities in that episode in more detail if you'd like to. But a few things I mentioned were either rolling a dice or flipping cards over to give you a 3-digit number. Write it and then read it. If you don't have dice or cards at home, you can simply write down the numerals 0 to 9 on pieces of paper, scrunch them up, put them in a hat and draw them out at random. I suggest maybe making 2 sets of each. So 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, etc. Again, write those numbers down and then read it. Being able to count to and from any starting point is a really good skill. So the same as I recommended in our 2-digit numbers video, you could once again complete a blank hundreds chart or a hundreds chart that had some numbers filled in and you had to fill in the rest. You could also do this activity by filling in the blank in some number patterns that are going up by 1. So for example here, 123, 124, blank, 126, 127, 128. What is the missing number? Well done, the missing number was 125. Being able to go across the tens is really important too. For example, what comes after the number 159? Yes, 160 and then 161. That is how we go across the tens. Anything goes with number games really. You could write and hide numbers all around the house. Like the first person to find the number 234 gets 1 point. Bonus points if you can read that number and tell me what number comes before it or after it. Alright, I'm going to show you a couple of my other favourite activities in a close-up. Alright, this game we like to call highest number wins, and essentially, as the name suggests, the highest number will win. I'm going to start by drawing 2 boxes for me and a partner, and I'm going to divide each box into 3 sections. You will also need a dice for this game. A normal dice is fine, but here I have a 9-sided dice, and with my 9-sided dice I like them to start at 0 and go to 9 and not start at 1 and go to 10. So the first player rolls the dice and they have the number 4. Now they have to choose whereabouts they want to put the 4 digit. Now I know there are a lot of numbers higher than 4, so I'm going to probably put my 4 down the end because I'm hoping to get higher digits for my tens and hundreds column. Then the next person's going to roll their dice. Oh, an 8. I probably won't get higher than an 8, so I'm going to put 8 in the hundreds column. The next person rolls. Oh, a 0. Okay, that's not very good. And I don't want to put it here because then this player will automatically win, so I might put it in the middle. Alright, then the next player goes. Oh, a 9. Okay, that's really high. I'm going to put that one there. Probably wouldn't waste that on my ones column. Then the next player will go. Ooh, a 3. 304. So I obviously haven't won, but let's see what the red player gets. Ooh, I think that's... I'll roll it one more time. I'm not sure if that's a 7 or a 3. A 4. Alright, so in this case, the red player wins. Alright, this game is a guess the hundreds number game. You can play this with tens or thousands or tens of thousands. Doesn't really matter how many digits. And I'm actually going to turn my board to portrait so you can see all of it. Now I am the writer, so I'm going to separately on a sticky note or a blank piece of paper, I'm going to think of and write down a hundreds number. Alright, I've got my hundreds number written down, but I'm not going to show you yet. Now, what you have to do is, because we're doing a hundreds number, we're going to divide the board into 3. And then this is where it's a really good group activity. I play it with my whole class. The class has to guess what digits fall into which column and what the whole hundreds number is. I actually play this one more so with thousands and tens of thousands, but hundreds it'll work exactly the same. So I might start with one student and they are going to suggest that my number is 175. Now, my number does not have a 1, so I'm going to put an X there because nowhere is there a 1 in my number. The number 7 though, I do have that number, I do have that digit in my number, and it actually is in that spot. Now the number 5, I again do not have. So then when the next student goes, they might say something like 673. And because there's a tick there, they know that this 7 has to be there in every number. Now, in my number, I actually do have a 6, but it doesn't belong in this spot. So I'm going to draw this symbol, which means it is in my number, but it is in the wrong column. 7, once again, is the same, and I do not have a 3 in my number. Alright, the next number that I might guess is 476. I know the 7 belongs there, and I am assuming now, because the 6 is in my number, and it obviously doesn't belong there, and it doesn't belong here, it must go here. So once again, I actually do not have the number 4 in my number. 7 is in the right spot, and now 6 is also in the right spot. Then I might go to another student and they might say 276. That's the most important part. It's really important that the student actually says the number out loud. And then this one, yes, look at that. I do have a 2 and it's in the right spot. Same with 7 and same as 6. So my number was 276. Alright guys, that is the end of our 3-digit numbers lesson. Are you successful? Can you identify and read hundreds numbers? I hope you've had a lovely lesson today, and I hope to see you again next time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you are always notified and up to date with my videos. See you next time. Bye!